Hello everybody and welcome to the Hilltop Spiritual Center. This is such an exciting time. I want to show you what's happening here. We have Bill the Builder over there as we are setting, wave Bill, as we are setting up and creating a structure for you. If you walk over here, you are going to see that we have stage set by Sunday the 21st. This will be filled with chairs. There's Steve over there smiling and supervising. So we are so excited, and this is going to be a wonderful service. Several things are going on. We've got Daring Greatly in the house. We have Kimmy Anderson coming back in the house collaborating with Lee Culture. We have Terry Cornelius as our practitioner, and lots of surprises and lots of things. I also want to let you know, I'll tell you more about it later, there's a class coming up. So please look around, see the beauty. There will be sales up here by Sunday, and we are set and ready to go. So please come in and join us, and we'll see you soon.
Can't read my mind, I'm undefined. I'm just beginning, the pen's in my hand, ending unplanned. Staring at the blank page before you, open up the dirty window, let the sun illuminate the words that you cannot find. Reaching for something in the distance, so close you can almost taste it. Release your inhibitions, feel the rain on your skin. No one else can feel it for you, only you can let it in. No one else can speak the words on your lips. Drench yourself in words unspoken, live your life with arms wide open. Today is where your book begins, the rest is still unwritten. Yeah. I break tradition, sometimes my tries are outside the lines. We've been conditioned to not make mistakes, but I can't live that way, yeah. Staring at the blank page before you, open up the dirty window, let the sun illuminate the words that you cannot find. Reaching for something in the distance, so close you can almost taste it. Release your inhibitions, feel the rain on your skin. No one else can feel it for you, only you can let it in. No one else can speak the words on your lips. Drench yourself in words unspoken, live your life with arms wide open. Today is where your book begins, feel the rain on your skin. No one else can feel it for you, only you can let it in. No one else can speak the words on your lips. Drench yourself in words unspoken, live your life with arms wide open. Today is where your book begins, the rest is still unwritten. No one else can feel it for you. No one else. Live your life with arms wide open. Today is where your book begins. The rest is still unwritten.
Hi, My name is Terry, and I'm a practitioner here at Centers for Spiritual Living in Fallbrook. Welcome to our service today. I know you will get a lot out of it, as I do every week. We've got viral videos going, we've got classes coming up, we have a grand opening coming, we'll be in the courtyard. So glad to be able to see you, and knowing that we have the energy and the love of God behind us at all times. It is what sustains us, sustains our friendships and missing each other. And I know, and I'm so grateful what we have up to this point, and as it will continue, knowing that it's all in the love of God, and so it is.
The reading today is from Ernest Holmes. He says the universe has intelligence, purpose, and order. By understanding its principles and applying them to ourselves, we can see who we are and what we truly want in life. And so it is. Close your eyes and simply become aware of your breathing. We are going to use the breath to bring you into the present moment, inhaling through the nose and exhaling through the nose. As you inhale, your cool air coming into the body and nurturing your body as you exhale. The warm air leaving the nostrils, releasing any tension or negative emotion. Feel your feet connecting you to the earth. Feel your shoulders sinking down. Feel your neck elongating. Relax your forehead. Relax your eyes. Relax the jaw. Relax the ears. Relax all the muscles in your back. Come back to the breath. Coolness on the inhalation, bringing you into the present moment. Exhaling warm air, leaving, knowing you are safe, relaxed, so quiet your mind. Thoughts go by like white fluffy clouds in a blue sky. Bring your attention back to your breath. Releasing yourself from the past and of the future, fully enjoying this present moment. Feeling yourself cultivating an inner peace, a safe place for you to come. Breathe, slowly open your eyes. Breathe, releasing yourself from the past and the future. Fully enjoying this present moment, feeling yourself cultivating an inner peace, a safe place for you to come. Bring your attention back to your breath, releasing it. Breathe and slowly open your eyes. And so it is.
So this week at the center, it's just been a buzz. It's like spring is coming and the building itself feels like it's waking up. And you know, for myself personally, this year, even with all that has happened this last year, I am so grateful. It really feels like we're waking up and stepping into a destiny as the Hilltop Center becomes a spiritual and cultural hub. And I'd like to recognize a couple people and some things that are going on at the very beginning of this talk, because it is about creativity. That lovely song that you heard at the beginning, that was a collaboration between Lee, our music director, and Kimmy Anderson. Wasn't it just beautiful? And didn't Kimmy just do an amazing job? But like all art, it was a collaboration. You know, that song began a couple weeks ago with Lee playing the guitar, and then Kimmy singing to those tapes, and then Jamie engineering them so that they synced together, and then Michelle taking all of that and creating that beautiful video. So art, creativity is a collaborative effort. Something that my teacher used to say time and time again is, none of us are great alone. None of us achieve our heart's desire alone. And that only makes sense, right? Because if each and every one of us and each and everything is interconnected to everything else, then of course everything is supporting the common good. So I'd like to begin this talk with a story. It's an old story. It goes back, I don't know, thousands of years possibly, because it really goes back to the time of the first century, to a man by the name of Rabbi Akiba. And I recently heard this story again, and it reminded when I heard it, I think all the way back in college, a long time ago. Anyway, Rabbi Akiba is living in Palestine during the Roman occupation, about 70 years after the time of Jesus. So really around the time that the Gospels were being written. So Rabbi Akiba was coming home one night to his village, and it was a familiar road, and he was walking, but it happened to be a really foggy night. And somehow or another, he misses the path of the turnoff that goes to his house, and he keeps walking, and he finds himself literally walking into the gate of the Roman garrison. And he hears this soldier shout down from the top of the garrison, "Who are you, and why are you here?" And Rabbi, huh, what? Who are you, and why are you here? And the story is that Rabbi Akiba looks up at the Roman soldier and says, "How much are they paying you?" What? How much are they paying you? Well, they're paying me 1 coin a day. And Rabbi Akiba says, "I will pay you 2 if you come to my house every morning and ask me those 2 questions. Who are you, and why are you here?" You know, I mean, those are the most powerful questions we all would ask, and that we should be asking almost daily. And you know, those questions are the essence and the beginning of philosophy. I was reading this article the other day in Medium magazine, and this author, his name was Link Daniel, was talking about this remarkable thing that most billionaires, a high percentage of billionaires, studied philosophy. In fact, he quotes Jim Rogers, who is a huge investment guy. And this guy writes this, he says, "So many folks today are caught up in conventional thinking, their intellectual processes circumscribed by such concepts as state, culture, or religion." And then he goes on, "To think outside the established framework, to examine things independently. This is true philosophy." And here's the kicker. Learn to think for yourself. Learn to think for yourself. And so it makes sense then, right, that those men and those women who are so successful in creating things and investing in things and really being able to see out of the box have trained their minds in the discipline of philosophy so that they can just do that and not get, caught into the race consciousness or the sort of the prevailing thoughts of the days, or as we would say today, in the algorithms that are constantly affirming our own confirmation biases. We don't even realize that we're trapped in a thinking process that's not even ours. I always go back to Ralph Waldo Emerson, the great American poet and philosopher. And he says at the very beginning of one of his most remarkable essays, Self-Reliance, this, he says, "To be yourself in a world that is constantly trying to make you something else, this is the greatest achievement," right? To keep our own sense of centeredness. What he says is in time, the most important thing is the integrity of our own mind. But he gives the warning in that essay. He says this, he says, "Society everywhere is in a conspiracy against the manhood and womanhood of every one of its members. Society is a joint stock company in which the members agree for the better securing of their bread to each shareholder to surrender the liberty and culture of the eater. You know, I'm reminded of this story called The Grand Inquisitor, and it's in Dostoevsky's The Brothers Karamazov. And in it, Jesus has come back to earth during the time of the Middle Ages. And, you know, he's doing what Jesus does. He's, you know, healing people, healing the sick and raising the dead and bringing comfort to everybody and, you know, doing the miracles that he does. And he's arrested for heresy by the Inquisition. And the night before his trial, the Grand Inquisitor comes down to his cell and says, "Why are you here? I know who you are. We have finally gotten people to toe the line. They finally understand where their bread comes. And here you're coming, messing up the whole system. But," and then he goes on, tomorrow you will be tried and burned as the worst of heretics." Imagine that. The established church arrests its founder for heresy. But, you know, that is so true, is it not? That we twist things around and that we outsource our authority for the sake of security, for bread, for comfort, for predictability. You know, and especially in these times, right? Because we're all a little bit weary. You know, we have been in the sense of disorder and that now we're re-emerging. So it's really important, I think, even especially now, to retain the authorship, the authority of our life, to engage with those people that support our own creativity. You know, I think now it's important, you know, not just mental hygiene, but social hygiene. And what I mean by that is, you know, not to cut ourselves off or to become elitist or anything like that, but, you know, is it really healthy? Is it really beneficial to hang out with cynics? Now, skeptics are okay, because skeptics can want to learn. They'll want to investigate, you know, and to study something, to investigate something, to question something, to be curious about something can lead us to an insight we can learn. But the skeptic has already made up their mind. And so why give your power away? Why give that creative force that is flowing in you? Why outsource it? Why drain that off into something else? Because we want to be with people that support the awakening of our true self. We want to engage in activities and give our energy, creativity, from a creative point of view to the things that enhance us, nurture us, support us. We want to be able to give generously to the world from a place of plenty within ourselves, because we can't give what we don't have. And so self-care is part of self-knowing, because it's beginning to understand who we are. You know, essentially it comes down to this. In order for us to encounter our true self, the first thing that we have to do is encounter our false self. You know, and Thomas Merton says this. He says that the false self is that which we want to present to the world, and then we want the world to revolve around. You know, it's that energy that says, this is what I have, this is what I own, this is what I think, this is what I do. You know, all those things that we invest in, that we want the world to see. Oh, look at that person. Look at the car that they drive. Look at the clothes that they wear. Look at the restaurants that they dine at. And again, not that any of those things are wrong, but they're not us. They're not us. The true self is deeper than that. It's more important, you know, because it's sometimes, I was thinking the other day about this. It reminds me of H.G. Wells' The Invisible Man. You know, the Invisible Man was naked and cold and alone, but he wrapped himself with things because it was the only way that he could present himself. But take all the wrappings, all the externals, all the things that we think define us, take them away, and we're naked and cold and hungry. And so we encounter the false self before we can ever really begin to embrace the true self. And the thing about the false self, like the invisible man, is it's not tenable. If we continue to do that game, it's just, again, do the math. We are running more energy to sort of do something than who we truly are, and that's not a tenable situation. It's an energy drain. And eventually it leads to things like illness, or in the case of the invisible man, he eventually slips into madness. And so the only way really that we can know the true self is to encounter the true self. And the only way that we can truly encounter and know the true self, that creative life force that is moving through time and space as us, is to encounter the divine. Because it's only through the experience of the divine that we really begin to know who we truly are. There's a Jesuit priest that I like. His name is James Martin. And he says this: "In the quest for the true self, one therefore begins to appreciate and accept one's personality and one's life as an essential way that God calls us to be ourselves." And so we look at who we are and we love ourselves for who we are. And so the question is if someone would say is, yeah, well, if I encounter my true self, I'm going to find that true self really, he's a really horrible person. He's selfish, he's mean, he's not generous, he's not kind. And what I would say to that is, you know what? You're going to have to dig deeper than that, because the true self is made in the image and likeness of the divine. And so it's important to kind of go back to that. There's something else that James Martin says that I like. He says, "The mistake we often make is that we think that to be our true self, we have to be someone else. That it's a performance, because we've so identified with our false self that we encounter our true self as a surprise. And so it's almost as if we have to become childlike again. I think, this first century Palestinian that I love to quote often, he talked a lot about that. He talked about like being as a little child, or having the consciousness of a child, in the sense of the openness, the curiosity of it. In Buddhism, they call it beginner's mind, that willingness to be open to things. And what I would offer is this: there's three things. There's an author, Pablo Coelho. He wrote The Alchemist, and he wrote several other books. What he says is that children can teach adults a lot about encountering their true self. He says there's three things that we can practice, that we can learn from children. And what I would invite you to consider is, this is our practice. And the first one is this, is to be happy for no apparent reason. Just to be happy. Are you singing in the morning? Are you taking delight in the morning? I've got this sort of the soundtrack in my head these days, the words from one of Lee's songs. It's a glorious day in the planet I love, and I'm happy. And I don't need a reason to be happy. I can just allow happiness to be the state that I'm in. And the other is this, is to always be busy with something. What I'm not meaning is, to lose yourself, or to be like an overachiever, but I mean, be engaged in something. Be engaged in something. I don't know an artist who has the word boredom in their vocabulary. If you find that you are bored, you are avoiding something, because there's always something to be engaged in, even at rest. Even during Sabbath, we can allow ourselves to be filled with amazement and wonder and awe and reverence. And the third thing is this, is something that children are really good at, is to demand with all their might the things that they desire. You know, our desires, not our cravings, our desires, the true desires that we discern, are the echo in our soul. And they are so important. To go back to Jim Rogers, you know, from the level of philosophy, when we begin to know ourselves, we begin to know how we tick. And when we know how we tick, we know what that well is, that deep desire, that yearning that Augustine says, you know, we are made in the image and likeness of the divine, and our souls are restless until they rest in that. And to use that restlessness, to use that desire, and as a child, to be relentless in demanding it. And then finally, how do we act creatively in the world? You know, I've been reading lately the Bhagavad Gita, and the Bhagavad Gita says, you know, give your all without an investment in the end result. Because it's not about that. It's not about the praise and the adulation of others. It's about our relationship to God. A friend of mine offered this prayer to me the other day, and I just found it so beautiful, and it has been such a great meditation. It's from Mother Teresa, and I'd like to share it with you. People are often unreasonable, illogical, and self-centered. Forgive them anyway. If you are kind, people may accuse you of selfish motives. Be kind anyway. If you are successful, you will win some false friends and some true enemies. Succeed anyway. If you are honest and sincere, people may deceive you. Be honest and sincere anyway. What you spend years building, someone could destroy overnight. Build anyway. If you find serenity and happiness, they may be jealous. Be happy anyway. The good that you do today, people will often forget tomorrow. Do good anyway. Give the world the best you have, and it may never be enough. Give them your best anyway. In the final analysis, it is between you and God. It never was between you and them anyway. So who are you? And why are you here? You are a divine idea in the mind of God. As Ernest Holmes says, you are a center of divine consciousness within the vast whole. And why are you here? You are here to co-create, because you are the heart and you are the mind of an intelligence universe that is knowing itself, healing itself, evolving itself through you. That is who you are, and that is why you're here. And don't ever forget that. So this is such an exciting time at the Hilltop Center. I am so happy that you are part of us. You know, amazing things are happening. We are opening up slowly, strategically, cautious optimism, but strategic optimism. The building feels like it's waking up. We are beginning to do outside services on Sunday. This Sunday, the 21st, spring equinox, and the following Sunday, the 28th, service will be at 10 a.m. And then starting April 4th, Easter Sunday, we'll be starting at 10:30. I just love to see you. It's so excited to be reconnecting again. The other thing that I want to let you know is that I'm beginning to teach a class. It's starting Thursday, March 25th at 6:30. The class is called The Path of Self-Mastery. And so if you are excited about taking on something impossible, if your creative urge is looking for support and assistance, if you are wanting spiritual tools to empower your life and to help make this world a better place, I would love for you to join us. The class is being taught in Spanish and English. It's being taught in the Zoom world, of course, but this Zoom world is on the American side and on the Mexico side. And last time we taught, it was on the Peru side. So, you know, there are points here and there and everywhere. So if you'd like to be part of a loving, supportive, spiritual community that is bilingual and binational, then I would love to have you in the class. And you don't have to speak Spanish. It will be taught in English and Spanish. Just go to our website and there's information of how you can sign up there. It's going to be really good. And then finally, of course, your continual and generous support is so essential. You are supporting something magnificent. You are helping co-create literally a spiritual and cultural epicenter. So thank you for that. And so for those whom you love and those whom you receive love from, I wish you many, many, many blessings.
I've been searching for someone, tired of being alone. I've been looking for so long. Gotta keep myself strong. Gonna wait around. I just wanna hear that sound, get lost in the melody and escape the custody, enter into ecstasy, never looking back again. Oh no, not again. I'm sinking to the floor, right back where I was before. Can't stop drinking from the bottle. I keep my hand on the throttle. Custody and a render